And now this morning, he is doubling down in a tweet. He wrote, when a country, USA, is losing many billions of dollars on trade with virtually every country it does business with, trade wars are good and easy to win. Example, when we are down $100 billion with a certain country and they get cute, don't trade anymore, we win big. It's easy.
You know, Maria, that trade deficit shaved growth off our GDP, and they've been doing that for 20 years now.
Balanced. We, of course, have a $500 billion trade deficit. So for us, trade deficits do matter.
Invested. I mean, if Toyota, we buy a bunch of stuff, strike the Toyota part, we buy a bunch of stuff from Japan, right? More than we sell. Those dollars are going to come back, right? Sometimes through foreign direct investment from Japan.
Sometimes it's buying our debt. And
yeah.
Sometimes it's
good thing they do, huh?
And sometimes.
Go ahead, Maria.
Should we expect China and others to come back and say, oh, really, America will take this? I'm going to raise, tariffs and retaliate on farm goods, Harley-Davidson motorcycles, Cummins engines, John Deere tractors, as the Journal is writing this morning. Are you expecting China to come back with retaliation?
I don't believe any country in the world is going to retaliate for the simple. What China did, and it's a big mistake, was they came back and retaliated with their own tariffs.
The one place where there is harm, and we're paying close attention to it, especially at the Department of Agriculture, is their retaliation.
Well,
the president came in.
You're right. Steel and aluminum CEOs love this, but those who use steel and aluminum in their products, car makers like Honda, like Ford, are already saying they're going to be increased cost to them, and they may pass those on to consumers. What are your projections on that?
And my projections is there's negligible to nothing effects. And let me just do a little numbers for you. 6-pack of beer or Coke, aluminum, $1.50 at the most.
This is a can of Campbell's soup. In the can of Campbell's soup, there's about 2.6 cents, 2.6 pennies worth of steel. So if that goes up by 25%, that's about 0.6 of 1 cent on the price of a can of Campbell's soup.
Today, I'm defending America's national security by placing tariffs on foreign imports of steel and aluminum.
It's this way. If you have a 10% tariff on another $200 billion, that's $20 billion a year. That's a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of 1% total inflation in the U.S. Because it's spread over thousands and thousands of products, nobody's going to actually notice it at the end of the day. China, we sell them less than $150 billion a year. So in that sense, they're out of bullets.
For national security purposes.
Why do this now, right now? The economy and the markets things are going well for the Trump
administration.
Boy,
wouldn't that be the best time to do that?
NAFTA was a horrible deal. We're renegotiating it. We'll see what happens. But we're strongly renegotiating NAFTA. If you look at the European Union, they have tremendous barriers, trade barriers. We essentially have bad deals with everyone. If we do a deal with China, if during the course of a negotiation they want to hit the farmers because they think that hits me, I wouldn't say that's nice, but I tell you, our farmers are great patriots. These are great patriots. They understand that they're doing this for the country, and we'll make it up to them. And in the end, they're going to be much stronger than they are right now. Don't forget, farmers have been trending downward over an 8-year period. Their numbers have trended downward, in some cases significantly.
NAFTA has resulted in a huge trade deficit for the United States and has cost us tens of thousands of manufacturing jobs.
We've lost, over a fairly short period of time, 60,000 factories in our country. Closed, shuttered, gone. 6 million jobs at least gone. And now this,
as you covered very often on your show, that we got really shafted by previous trade deals. And
our jobs were lost, our taxes were lost, our businesses were lost. Those days are over. We're making great trade deals.
talk about trade. Before you became the president's top economic advisor, you wrote in an essay, quote, "Tariff hikes are really tax hikes." The president this week tweeted in part, quote, "Tariffs are the greatest." As a philosophical discussion, are tariffs great?
You know, if they're targeted for good purpose, as per China, I think the answer is absolutely yes. That's always been my view. Deal. Let me say this. The president has adopted a view with which I completely agree. He's a free trader, and he wants to have no tariffs. Hard thing to do. You know, people say, well, President Trump's tariffs are damaging this, that, and the other thing. I say, don't blame President Trump. He inherited a completely broken world trading system, including a World Trade Organization, most particularly China, but not only China, okay? The world too. So you just got to give him a chance.
Many years I've been complaining about the horrible trade deals that our country was making. Our presidents and their representatives were just not treating our workers fairly. They weren't, frankly, treating our companies fairly. Those days are over. Right now, we have companies pouring back into our country.